You ever wonder what happens after we take our last breath, that moment when the world fades to silence and the light dims what lies beyond? Is it just the end, or is it something more? For centuries, humanity has wrestled with this question, searching through religion, philosophy, and science for answers. Today, we'll hear stories of those who've stood at the edge, who've slipped into the unknown and returned to tell us what they found. This is a journey into life after death, through voices that crossed the threshold and came back changed forever. The spiritual threshold stories from beyond the veil. Many who've faced death describe a tunnel of light, a sense of peace, or encounters with beings of light. These experiences aren't just isolated tales. They echo across cultures and ages. Take the story of Anita Morjani, who fell gravely ill with cancer and experienced a near-death experience where she felt unconditional love and saw her life from a new perspective. When she came back, her cancer miraculously went into remission. She shares how the experience showed her that love and acceptance are the true essence of existence, something beyond the physical. Then there's Dr. Eben Alexander, a neurosurgeon who spent a week in a coma. His scientific mind was skeptical until he found himself in a vivid, otherworldly realm, full of vibrant colors and unconditional love. He returned with a new faith, convinced consciousness survives beyond the brain. These stories resonate because they speak to a universal truth. Many of us sense deep inside that death is not an end, but a doorway. Religious perspectives. The promise of eternity. Religions across the world have offered comforting visions of what comes next. In Christianity, there is the promise of heaven, a place of eternal peace in the presence of God. Jesus' resurrection is seen as the ultimate proof that death can be overcome, giving believers hope that their souls will live on. In Hinduism and Buddhism, the concept of reincarnation reveals a cycle of death and rebirth, with the soul evolving through many lives toward enlightenment. Here, death is not final, but a step in a spiritual journey toward liberation, the merging with the ultimate reality, or nirvana. Islam speaks of an afterlife where souls are judged, rewarded, or purified, awaiting the final resurrection. The Quran describes gardens beneath which rivers flow, a paradise for the righteous. While these views differ in details, they share a profound message. Life extends beyond this physical existence, and our actions here ripple into eternity. Philosophical reflections. What can we know? Philosophers have long debated the nature of death and what it means for the self. Plato spoke of the soul as immortal, a divine spark temporarily housed in the body. For him, death frees the soul to return to the realm of perfect forms, a place of pure truth and beauty. More recently, existential philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Martin Heidegger focus on death as the ultimate boundary defining human existence, something that gives life meaning precisely because it is finite. Heidegger called it our being toward death, encouraging us to live authentically by embracing our mortality. Others ponder whether consciousness might be a fundamental aspect of the universe, not bound by our physical bodies. Some modern thinkers entertain the idea of a collective consciousness, or that death might be a transition to another form of awareness. Science and near-death experiences, searching for proof. Science has long approached death as the cessation of biological function. But what about those who come back from the brink? Near-death experiences, NDEs, have been studied extensively. Dr. Raymond Moody, who coined the term near-death experience, collected thousands of accounts showing common features: out-of-body experiences, seeing a bright light, feelings of peace, meeting deceased loved ones. These experiences challenge materialist views and open the door to new questions about consciousness. Some scientists propose that these are brain phenomena triggered by trauma. Others suggest they might hint at a deeper reality. The truth is no definitive scientific explanation, yet fully accounts for the depth and consistency of NDE reports. Famous accounts. When death is only the beginning. Remember the story of Colton Burpo, a young boy who underwent emergency surgery and later recounted vivid memories of heaven meeting Jesus and relatives who had passed. His parents were skeptical until his descriptions included details unknown to him. Then there's the tale of Betty Eady, who described an encounter with divine beings and a vision of life's purpose that transformed her outlook. After her experience, she became a beacon of hope for many searching for meaning beyond death. These stories inspire us to reconsider our assumptions and open our minds to mysteries beyond explanation. The emotional core, why these stories matter. What draws us to these stories? It's not just curiosity, it's hope. Hope that death isn't a cold void, that love transcends the physical, that the connections we make endure beyond time. For those grieving, these experiences offer comfort and reassurance. They suggest that our loved ones continue their journey, waiting for us in realms unseen. For the living, they remind us to cherish every moment, to live with compassion and awareness, that life is precious and fleeting. An open question: what do you believe? After hearing these voices from doctors and mystics, philosophers, and everyday people, the question remains: what do you believe happens after death? Is it a final farewell, a return to dust? Or is it a new beginning, a continuation of the soul's journey? Is consciousness something eternal, or does it fade like a candle's flame? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between or beyond what we can imagine. When we look across the globe, it's clear that stories of life after death aren't confined to one culture or belief system. From the Inuit in the Arctic who speak of the spirit world, where ancestors guide the living, to the ancient Egyptians who built elaborate tombs to prepare souls for the afterlife, humanity's fascination with what lies beyond death is universal. Consider the Native American traditions. Many tribes believe in the spirit path, a journey souls undertake after death, where they must find their way back to the world of the living or move on to the next realm. This journey is not always easy, and the living often perform rituals to help loved ones transition peacefully. The science of consciousness: more questions than answers. In recent decades, science has made leaps in understanding the brain, yet consciousness remains a puzzle. Some researchers propose that consciousness might exist outside the physical brain, an idea supported by the intriguing accounts of near-death experiences, where patients describe events and conversations while clinically dead. Take the case of Pam Reynolds, who underwent a risky brain surgery and reported a detailed out-of-body experience. She described the surgical instruments, conversations among doctors, even details of the procedure, information she couldn't have known otherwise. Her story challenges the idea that consciousness simply ends when brain activity stops. These accounts push the boundaries of what we consider possible and invite scientists to rethink the nature of awareness itself. Philosophical and ethical reflections on death and afterlife. Philosophers also grapple with the implications of life after death for how we live today. If there is an afterlife, what does that mean for justice, morality, and meaning? Would belief in eternal reward or punishment change how we treat each other? Alternatively, if death is the final boundary, does that make our time here even more precious? Existentialists urge us to embrace the fleeting nature of life and find purpose in the present moment. They remind us that meaning is something we create, not something granted after death. These perspectives challenge us to think deeply about how our beliefs shape our actions, fears, and hopes. Personal stories, transformations after near-death experiences. Many who return from the brink speak of profound personal transformation. They report shedding fears, embracing forgiveness, and experiencing a newfound appreciation for life's beauty. One man, Howard Storm, was a skeptic who mocked spirituality until a near-death experience showed him terrifying darkness, followed by divine light and love. His life changed completely. He became a minister and an advocate for compassion and understanding. These stories inspire us because they show that facing death can awaken a deeper sense of what it means to be truly alive. The role of faith, comfort, and challenge. Faith often provides the framework through which people interpret their death experiences. For some, the belief in an afterlife is a source of comfort that helps navigate grief and fear. For others, near-death experiences challenge and deepen their faith, revealing aspects of spirituality they never knew existed. Yet for many, the uncertainty remains. The mystery of what happens after death can be unsettling, but also a call to humility, acknowledging that some truths may lie beyond human understanding. Science meets spirituality. The search continues today. More and more scientists and spiritual leaders are coming together to explore these mysteries. Studies on meditation consciousness and quantum physics hint at connections between mind and universe that could revolutionize our understanding of life and death. Some propose that death might be more like a transformation, a crossing over to a different state of being, just as water changes to vapor or ice. This emerging dialogue between science and spirituality invites us to keep an open mind and heart, blending wonder with reason. Closing thoughts. A personal invitation. So what does all this mean for you and me? Perhaps the answer is less about certainty and more about openness. Openness to mystery, to hope, to the possibility that love and consciousness endure beyond what we see. Maybe life after death is not just a question about the future, but a way to live more fully now, embracing kindness, connection, and the sacredness of each moment. As you reflect on these stories and ideas, remember, you are part of a vast, timeless human story, one that reaches beyond this lifetime into the unknown. And maybe, just maybe, that unknown is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Rituals and remembrances, honoring life beyond death. Across the world, cultures have created powerful rituals to honor those who have passed, reflecting their beliefs about what comes next. These traditions offer comfort and connection, weaving the living and the dead into an ongoing story. In Mexico, the Day of the Dead is a vibrant celebration where families build altars, decorate graves, and share stories to welcome back the spirits of their loved ones. It's a joyful reminder that death is part of life's cycle, that those we've lost remain with us in memory and spirit. In Japan, the Obon festival honors ancestors with lanterns and dances, inviting their souls to return home. The flickering lanterns floating on water symbolize the light that guides souls in the afterlife and the deep respect for family bonds that transcend death. In many African cultures, elaborate funerals and ancestor veneration show the belief that the dead watch over the living, offering wisdom and protection. These rituals remind us that death is not separation, but transformation, a crossing into a new role within the community. Psychological insights. Why we seek life after death. Why are humans so drawn to the idea of life after death? Psychologists suggest that this yearning arises from our deep need for meaning and security. The thought of non-existence can provoke fear and anxiety, so beliefs in an afterlife provide hope, reduce fear, and help people cope with loss. Near-death experiences often bring profound changes, not only spiritually, but psychologically. Survivors report a new zest for life, increased empathy, and a shift away from material concerns toward deeper values. This transformation suggests that the experience of confronting death can be a catalyst for personal growth and healing, offering a glimpse of what truly matters. The mystery continues stories that defy explanation. Some encounters with death defy easy explanation and remind us of the profound mystery at life's edge. In 1975, George Ritchie described a near-death experience so vivid, it inspired the modern study of NDEs. He spoke of meeting a divine presence, traveling through different realms, and learning universal truths about love and forgiveness. Similarly, Pam Reynolds' story of detailed observations during brain surgery challenged scientists to rethink consciousness. These stories continue to inspire debate and wonder, showing us that the boundary between life and death may be thinner than we think. What if life after death is within us? Some traditions teach that life after death is not out there, but inside us. The soul, the spirit, these are expressions of consciousness that transcend physical form. Mystics say that by connecting deeply with ourselves through meditation, prayer, or contemplation, we can touch eternity in this very life. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, for example, guides souls through the intermediate state between death and rebirth, emphasizing awareness and compassion. This perspective invites us to see death not as a distant event, but as a constant companion, a reminder to live fully and mindfully, a call to reflection, embracing the unknown. As we face the mystery of life after death, we might realize that certainty is not the goal. The power lies in our ability to embrace the unknown with courage and grace. Maybe the stories we hear from ancient scriptures, scientific research, or personal testimonies are invitations to explore our own beliefs, fears, and hopes. In that exploration, we find the essence of what it means to be human, a quest for meaning, connection, and peace. So, as you continue your own journey, remember these stories, these questions, these possibilities. Whether life after death is a reality or a beautiful mystery, the way we live today is the greatest gift we can give to ourselves, to those we love, and to the endless story of life itself. Thank you for sharing this time. If these stories touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share your own thoughts below. Until next time, keep seeking, keep wondering, and keep living with love.